Republicans just released a devastating report showing how the Biden administration allegedly led the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. The 250-page document goes on to say President Biden completely ignored his top military personnel and withdrew from Afghanistan for his own personal political gain, killing 13 American service members. The White House was asked about it today.
Was anyone ever held accountable by the president directly for what happened with the withdrawal in Afghanistan? And if not, remind the audience why not.
We have all held ourselves accountable for the progress of the withdrawal across the administration.
Senator Bill Cassidy is with us, Republican from Louisiana. Good to see you, sir. The quote from John Kirby that we just heard, was anyone held accountable by the president directly for what happened with the withdrawal in Afghanistan? His answer, we have all held ourselves accountable. Is that enough?
It is not enough. That's kind of like socialism. Everybody owns it, so nobody owns it. The reality is that if you have a disaster like that disaster, there needs to be somebody who theoretically was in charge. And if it's as screwed up as it was, that somebody's head should roll. And the idea that we all held ourselves accountable was kind of a kumbaya moment. I'm not buying it.
All right, so 13 Americans killed, obviously, during the Afghanistan withdrawal by the suicide bomber at Abbey Gate. We spoke to one of their fathers, one of their mothers-in-law as well. Heartbreaking interviews. Who do you think should be fired and held responsible in one way or another for their deaths?
I think that the House is trying to piece this together. I thought the report showing that the ambassador had taken a vacation the month before the withdrawal was telling. We did not have a plan for withdrawal. We ended up leaving billions of dollars of equipment and of money, and yet there was no thinking, how do we get it out of here? So maybe he was not told they were leaving. Although the Biden administration keeps on saying, wait a second, hands are tied because it was set in stone. So a lot of this just doesn't add up. Ultimately, by the way, remember the sign on Harry Truman's desk, the buck stops here? The buck should have stopped with Joe Biden. And if Vice President Harris was the last person in the room after he made the decision, maybe she gets 50 cents of the dollar.
It's interesting you bring up Harris's name because you're right. She has said that I was the last person in the room when the decision was made. A number of times Harris's report was named in the Afghanistan withdrawal reports in 2022, twice. In this new report, 251 times. Is it just a coincidence that now that she's on the top of the ticket, her name has suddenly appeared so many more times with such greater interest in her role?
I cannot speak to the committee hearings. I was not part of it, and I won't pretend. But obviously, if she's saying that she was the last person in the room, that may invite more scrutiny.
Okay, fair enough. I think about the New York Post cover, which, as usual, really drives home the point. But part of this report, during his decades-long tenure as Delaware U.S. Senator, 8 years as Vice President, 4 years as President, Mr. Biden has demonstrated distrust of America's military experts and advisors. And there was the point made that President Biden wanted American troops out of Afghanistan regardless of the high water and the potential costs. At some point, isn't the fact that we got out, albeit messy, make America safer? Our men and women in uniform are not in harm's way anymore. We're not spending billions of dollars a year on Afghanistan when the Taliban was effectively running it anyway. I get how he did it was a disaster. Was the decision itself wrong?
I'm going to dispute a little bit of what you said. Okay. We had 3,000 troops there with our allies shouldering a lot of the responsibility and a lot of the expense. The Afghan army was doing the armed conflict against the Taliban. We had the Taliban at bay. In the meantime, the CIA had listening stations in which they could monitor all the countries around. Think of the countries that are there: Pakistan, Iran, China, not a bad place to be if you want to kind of
Fair enough.
eavesdrop on what's happening.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.